Hello to the Squad Community Cup Roundtable. Tonight we will present you with 1 hour of the ins and outs of the game squad, the competitive scene within squad, and the Squad Community Cup final. Today with me I got 6 guests. I will introduce them one by one and I'll ask Johnny Omaha to start. Can you please introduce yourself, Johnny?
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Johnny Omaha, and I am in Omaha, United States. Happy birthday, USA. Woo! But been casting squad for quite a while. Took a little break, and I'm getting back into it. Thanks so much for having me here today.
Right, next up, another big streamer, Running Duck. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi everybody. Yeah, I am actually not from the USA. I'm from Germany. I used to cast a lot competitive squad like back a year ago when I made a big break. But back into squad, playing a lot, getting back into it, really enjoying it, and that's I think the most important thing to say about me right now.
Right, next to that, I got 2 amazing team specialists from the team Legio X. I got here Olakander. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up, guys? Well, it's pretty hard to follow those 2 acts. One of the founders of LX and Imperium. Imperium's our community clan. LX is pretty much our competitor team, and it's comprised of mainly Imperium members, but also guys from TLR and other various community clans in the game.
And from the other team, the Franco-German Brigade, I got here Tequila Sancho. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey guys, Tequila Sancho my name. I'm playing squad for Friendly Warface, which is part of Franco-German. Yeah, playing squad since a couple of years now, and yeah.
Alright, great. And then the last 2 guests are the streamers for tonight for the big final. First, the main streamer, Emotive Meerkat, is here. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Emotive Meerkat. I'm from the UK. Been playing squad now for a couple of years and haven't dropped it since I started playing it really. Thanks for having me on tonight. It's really nice to be streaming the final. Olakander and Sancho, good luck to you both. I'm sure I'm going to be seeing you kill each other hopefully in a few moments time.
Alright, and his standard second hand is here too. Level Me Up, the co-host for tonight. Can you please also introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Level Me Up. I'm from Croatia. I've been playing squad also for a couple of years now, and I loved every single update that came up. Since I'll be the co-stream for today's match, and I as well hope to see a lot of killing. Hopefully, America is gonna be killing all the counter.
4th of July, brutal.
Very
Hey.
great, very great. Alright, we'll go on with the first topic, which is a little bit of information about SEC. The SEC, Olakander and Tequila Sancho both playing in it, as I said, is 36 versus 36 competitive squad tournament. Basically, it's an open tournament for all the clans out here in the squad community. Well, there are 8 teams in the tournament. Well, in the end, we're here left with 2 teams in the final, of course. The game is played in the vanilla squad game mode, so there is no mods active, and only the standard AAS maps are used for the matches. That's just a quick introduction about the SEC. Let's start off with our first serious topic. Recently, well, Squad is still an alpha game, and well, there is a lot of changes to the game, and with every new version, gameplay changes a lot. The latest change, V14, brought a couple of new things into the game. And I want to know what your experiences about this are. Johnny, can you please tell me, what do you enjoy the most about for V14?
V14, man, what's not to like? I'm sure everybody's got their own perspectives and opinions, but to me, V14 is what got me back into everything. So I think the running speed, talk about running duck here, running speed has also been increased. So people are moving around the field a lot better. I think the shooting it feels like it's improved to me. I love the random attack and secure. I know that, SCC isn't doing that, but I think it's really cool as a pub match. So I think there's a lot of really cool things. Those are a couple of my favorites.
Right, and of course there are also changes that really affect competitive play. Olekander, for instance, there is the new body rally system. It completely changes how spawns work. What do you think? Is the body rally system a good addition to competitive squad gameplay?
To be honest, just quickly, the best addition of V14 is the fact that it's got Johnny Omaha back. So woo. Go
Oh
Johnny.
jeez. Oh jeez. Stop.
Look at that voice. Listen to that voice. I don't know. To be honest, like the buddy rally system's cool. I think it's really helped with pub gameplay. In terms of competitive gameplay, obviously you just have to watch your flanks a lot more. Before it was kind of one rally and you were screwed, and now the whole team can just spawn there. Because Habs are quite weak, it's obviously playing a role in the arsenal of most teams more than we used to see. But for me, I mean, the biggest improvement has been to public play. So yeah.
Right. Then another thing that definitely changed gameplay in FIFA 14. It was always militia and insurgents when you had to be really careful for those mines on those sneaky sand roads. But now with FIFA 14, also the Americans, the British, and the Russians have mines to their arsenal. Tequila Sancho, do you think this really changed the way how you drive vehicles now in competitive, but also in public play?
Yeah, of course. So this changes almost everything for driving tanks. So before you can, drive a tank on the road without thinking about mines, and now you have always to take a look if a mine is there, and if not, you will get screwed.
And then there's also, of course, a couple of new vehicles brought into the game. We got the MRAP TOW, we got the BRDM Concours, and of course the new British tank. Running Duck, how do you think, especially those first two vehicles, those mobile tow vehicles, or the Concours for the Russians, can affect the game?
I mean, with both of them. I mean, personally, in pub games, I play a lot of vehicle, and they both feel, they're glass cannons basically, but they can be really in the right hands. They can be really strong. If you have a good concourse or good Tau MRAP player, he can dominate. He can kill tanks, he can kill BTRs, he can kill everything. But once it's positioned wrongly, it might die super, super quick. So I think it's a really nice addition, which plays wonderfully into the whole balance of different vehicles on the field.
Yeah, any other guests on the table who would like to share their opinion about any of those topics?
I've got to say, I love the Challenger. The Challenger is amazing. I mean, I don't really gun a lot. I do a lot of driving for the co-founder of SR. He does normally all the gunning, and I'm driving. But the Challenger has got me wanting to gun in the tanks so much. It's such a nice tank to drive.
Yeah, I completely agree. Unfortunately, we won't see the Challenger in action today. The final will be played on the Koken Valley, a map without much use of vehicles. But yeah, the Challenger definitely is a great addition. And well, maybe small, but definitely an important change, especially when it comes down to recon units. Lodges now need to be very close to the radio when you place the radio. That gives recon units a really good opportunity to spot where a radio will be placed. Do you think that this will really affect the gameplay, Johnny?
Absolutely. I think, already you can hear vehicles from so far away. So I think that having those people, and we've been seeing even in just pub matches where those recon units, they're listening, and now there's a whole other, you just follow the ant trail of Logi supplies. I mean, especially, with now persistent ammo, that wasn't a V14 thing, but that's really important that you keep the spice must flow. So you have to keep your ammo going, and you're going to need those either the Logi, or you're bringing in your other auxiliary vehicles or your combat vehicles that you can now reload off of. So that's pretty cool. I think, yeah, very important. And I think, what is it? Is it 50 meters, guys, or what's the actual range now? Logi 30 meters.
30 meters.
30 meters. So that's freaking close. So yeah,
Yeah, it is.
You gotta really protect the Logi, because if you don't get the Logi down, you're not gonna get your radio down. So
A lot of teams are still leaving the Logi right next to the radio. I mean, they used to do it before, and now they're doing it even more so. So if you find the Logi very often, you're just going to find the radio now as well. So
yeah, I think for
it's a real tactic to get rid of the.
For competitive play, I think that what affects the logic change with you gotta be close, especially the rush play. I mean, basically before V14, you could have the logi sitting somewhere behind a hill, and just all the other people YOLOs in, and you can fairly placely put a fob down and resupply it, but that's not going to happen anymore. I mean, especially if you think, for example, about Papanov, you kind of have to get the logi inside now.
Yep.
You have to.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think we'll definitely that it is obvious that V14 changed competitive play, but I think that we'll see in the final what will happen today, and especially when it comes down to those lodges, you say like people often place the radio right next to the logi and I'll let the logi stay there. Well, at least I hope that one of the top competitive teams here at least think about that, but we'll definitely see that later today. Let's move on, well, somewhat more specifically towards the final of today. The map we are going to play is Koken Valley, 3-1 to be accurate. Let's say that map is a map that has been here from the start of Squad, and it's a map quite different from the other maps. It's quite small for at least a Squad map. It doesn't have that much vehicles, but it has a really nice opportunity for infantry combat. Let's say, Emotive Meerkat, you as a experienced streamer, what do you think that the most important points of this map are?
Well, the militia kind of have an upper hand. They've got quite a lot of fast vehicles they can get out. I mean, they've got a number of Dishkatekis. They've got a couple of bikes as well. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see some rushes being played for maybe Grandel, which is the second flag out from the US side. Tempest and Village always seem to be like the normal rush place. Obviously, Tempest, once you kind of lose that, you tend to, or once the Americans get that, they tend to be able to hold it really well. Militia, if they get that, they can kind of hold it really well as well. I mean, Village, I'm expecting mortars as well on this map. If I don't see mortars, I'm going to be disappointed. But there's some good opportunity for mortar play here. I'm expecting to see a lot of guys pushing around and certainly trying to stop those first flags. I don't think the US are really able to sufficiently push past Tempest. I mean, a lot of those vehicles that they've got a couple of MRAPs, they've got a couple of Logis. They're not going to get that far. They're a lot bulkier, they're a lot slower. So trying to get past Tempest for the US is really kind of a stretch. Militia, though, they could go all the way to Grandel if they really wanted to, and it wouldn't surprise me to see that gameplay tonight.
Yeah, well, as we talked earlier, there are now mines for every faction. Level me up. All the viewers now got the map in front of them. Which roads do you think that are really a good place to place mines on Koken Valley?
Well, to be honest, I'm definitely gonna expect the main base to be mined. It's just expected. We've seen a couple of plays like that, even in the SCC. I remember when we played on Koken Valley, we hit the mine directly in front of our spawn. I'm not gonna forget that day. I'm definitely expecting, so the main routes are definitely gonna be mined next to the points, and I'm also expecting like common logi routes to be mined, just because it would make sense to stop the logis there in the track. Other
What
than
do you
that,
think about the opportunity to just place mines in the fields randomly? Because, well, Koken Valley is a very flat map. It is easily to get off-road. I take it that every team, at least in a final at this high competitive level, will take the opportunity to just go off-road and evade the roads as much as possible. Do you think that you can maybe just focus on placing random mines in the fields, hoping you will hit an enemy because they will evade the roads anyway?
well, the chances of that are, in my opinion, really low, because basically there can be just numerous routes you can just take. So just putting like one or two mines down in a specific field, the chances of the vehicle hitting it is going to be very low. So I don't think we'll see a lot of mines actually being detonated by logi trucks in the.
Okay. Yeah, Emotive already spoke about it a little bit. The rush potential, especially for the militia team on this map. Well, as well on any map basically. Running Duck, what do you think that the best flags for the militia to push to are?
Well, for Rush, I guess it's gotta be Grendel in that case. Because it's they have basically the direct route over petrol station and stuff. I personally think because it's tough to say because before V14, I mean, right now militia has a lot of scopes too and scope weapons, and they can the fights are a little bit evener. Before V14, when militia only had their really crappy weapons, basically on Koken we saw a lot that US just outright outshot militia, and they had to use the techies and the general mobility to stretch America thin and come from different angles. Yeah, I guess if you play as militia, since how the bleed mechanic works right now, you could just try to rush Grendel and set a FOB or set up on market, and try it that way, and then slowly push into Tempest. But it's tough to say. I think that's what I would go for as militia in some way like that.
All right. A couple of versions ago, they of course changed the entire mechanics. Now one person on cap can already start capping a neutral flag, even though there is like 10 enemies around him. That definitely stopped the rush potential and makes the rush on Grendel very hard to pull off, since you need to kill every single member of the enemy team on that cap at that moment, and well, that in a quite short time, because Grendel is already their second cap.
Well, let's
You
hope
gotta
that
get
they're
it
good
in
at
and
hide
clear
and
it out.
seek.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna play hide and seek. Johnny, do you think it is even worth pushing at least like a couple of guys, like a squad towards Grendel, or do you think that because Tempest Estate, the middle flag, do you think you need to put all your 40 guys towards the Tempest Estate?
So I've never been a fan of rushing. I think rushing is a really stupid mechanic. I'm gonna go on record and say that right now. I think it's just dumb. So there's smarter people than me that would say yes. I am a freak about mortars, and especially on Kokan. Like, you have these pockets, right? It's basically each one is a compound, and you're zeroed in. So to me, if I'm going to dedicate that time, I'd rather just get mortars on that point and just bombard it, because I know they have to cap it. But I don't know. Maybe a combination. Get some mortars on there. Get a couple guys. I can maybe deny the cap that way. But I don't know. I think there's probably rush potential, but I would rather put it towards a sure thing and making sure that I'm ready to rock. So probably not a popular opinion, but it's mine and I'm sticking to it.
All right, and then I'm curious about your other opinion. The middle flag, Tempest Estate. The militia can be there faster and often also caps it faster. But what do you think that is able to hold that flag for a longer time? I mean, we usually see that at some point the Americans manage to cap Tempest Estate, and the battle is there between Tempest Estate and Market. But if you have to make like a time guess, and this is quite a wild guess, on average, how long do you think that militia has to hold that cap to say that they've played a fair game?
Are we talking in comp match, or are we talking pug, or what are we talking, team?
Well, we're talking about a competitive match, so 2 rounds, and if you want to do like above average prestation on your first round, how long do you think that you have to hold that first cap to make sure that you can secure the victory in your second round as America?
I'm going to have to throw this to the greater group for this one, because this one is, I think, there's so many factors at play. So I'm going to throw this one back to the greater group.
Okay, we'll come towards our team specialists later, Olekander and Tequila Sancho, about their specific team tactics. But Emotive, if you have streamed a lot of matches, and you probably already streamed matches on Koken, how long do you think that middle cap is going to be important for the militia? Emotive, you here?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, Johnny's right. This is a tough one. Militia are going to have to push past. I mean, they can't. I think they're going to have to push past it. I think if you're going to play militia and you want to win as a militia round, you've got to try and be aggressive. That's my opinion. I mean, Village, I think, is a better position to cap. You've got 3 points of entry. I mean, if you could get Village, that would be amazing, because once you got that, I think the US team are going to be really a bit confused about losing that cap. Tempest Estate, I mean, I've just seen Tempest Estate fall so many times to the US team. I mean, yeah, even the ticket bleed, is negligible, if anything. I don't even think the ticket bleed will kick in a Tempest either. So
No, there
It
is
won't.
no
It
ticket
won't.
bleed on Tempest. The
That's
ticket
a-
bleed does cock in when you either
It's
captain
a
market
village.
or a village, indeed.
yeah. So that's why I'm saying you've got to push for village, because if you want to win, you're going to need the help of that ticket bleed, and you're going to need the help of the Americans throwing themselves at the walls of village. That's my opinion. I don't know what anyone else thinks.
I think it's going to
Well-
come down to kills, regardless.
I think
Yeah.
on Koken especially, the biggest issue for any of the teams is to get onto the, I mean, all the cap zones are basically islands in the sea of fields. And a big issue always is like, getting actually to the cap zone, because all the ways around pretty much are open, and US will always have the advantage in that field to just cross those open fields and all the scopes and machine guns and stuff they have. And if Militia gets into Tempest, I think it comes a lot about if you want to set a time point, how long do they have to hold it? I guess it's until they cap village, basically, because otherwise they will lose it, because at one point you cannot peek out anymore because US will be all around you.
Right.
And
Yep.
you're getting shreked.
And what about fecal gameplay? There is not much fecals on this map. Well, of course, there is lodges for both teams, but the US has some M-reps. I think they have 3 M-reps all open top, while the militia has to do it with some techies, gun techies.
Yeah, you got 4
well,
Dishka techies, 2 Logi techies, 1 transport techie, 1 transport truck, and 3 bikes on the militia side. They've got a hell of a lot of vehicles.
Exactly. Olakander, how do you think that fecals can affect the final result of this match? Do you think they really play an important role, or are they just maybe a waste of tickets? Are they just assistance? Are they just transport? What do you think?
Yeah, they play an important role in that you need to protect them. I mean, offensively, they're almost useless unless used for transport on this map. I think using the MRAPs, particularly as offensive weapons, is suicidal. And if you've got 2 evenly matched teams, which happens fairly often, if you're losing those Vics, then you're losing points. So personally, I'm not a fan of using them too offensively unless you're using them for transport.
So you're suggesting that you should just have to place them behind your own walls on your cap, use the turrets as much as you can, but
I'd suggest getting out of there. Do the job you want to do, which is get your men on the battle and then get them out of there. Because towards the end of the battle, when every ticket counts, everyone that you blow up is just going to cost you tickets. So.
What about the component damage? What about the component damage system? I mean, I'm seeing so many more disabled vehicles before. Before you could get hit and then you could still stay in the fight, but here it's like, I ran over a snail and now I can't go anywhere.
I mean, in terms of Kokan, it's kind of irrelevant because you've only got the MRAPs and techies, and that won't play a factor in this. But in terms of other games, yeah,
I've seen engines shut out and tires blown out.
Yeah,
you're still going to blow them up in the end of the day for the tickets.
Sure.
I don't know. At the start, you
might leave.
probably want to disable the engines and shoot the tires out, because everyone's going to be running after those lodges. I mean, especially on the militia, when those vehicles are so flimsy. I mean, they're going to get the logi out there. They're going to need the logi close to the cap anyway, because we spoke about that with the fob mechanic. Take out the tires, take out the engine, and then once you've killed the fob and you kill the team, well, they've got that logi away from main base. I mean, they're not going to get that back until you guys are prepared to kill it. And when you do kill it, it's going to take 3 to 6 minutes or something like that for it to respawn in. So
if we're talking about lodges, I'd definitely not blow them up. I'd leave them there on the map with Kokan. But
I think
that's an interesting point, because in public play you often see it. Well, we see a vehicle. Well, let's get your squad together, blow up the damn vehicle, whether it's stationary or not. In competitive play, you see a lot that the vehicles are just left outside there. Well, we blow the tires and we leave it there so the enemy can't use it. Where do you think this big difference between competitive play and public play comes from, Running Duck?
I mean, in general, in a competitive game, you gotta assume that if there's 36 people playing against 36 people, that all 72 players on the map know exactly what is going on and know exactly how the game works and all the mechanics. I mean, on a public game, I'd say at least, in the average public game, I'd say at least 30% are people who, how do I put that? Friendly.
Little knowledge about
yeah, exactly.
They know what's going on. They know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know what's going on. They don't know the value of I mean, for a new player, a transport techie is a transport techie. For an experienced player, transport techie is basically a tool to outflank with your whole squad the enemy team in less than 90 seconds. So the value of vehicles, especially. I think you got to have experience and play a lot, and to see how you can actually use the vehicles in a creative way too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. A last point I want to talk about on this map is denying the supply routes, especially when you're as American go camp around the militia main. It's something that is often forbidden in public play, but in competitive games there are of course no rules. As soon as somebody enters the main zone, they are able to fire on it. What do you think about denying supply routes, Sancho?
Yeah, it's an important part, and here, you need a good plan where to place your radius and your hubs to have the supply roads not that offensive, so that enemies can easily disconnect everything, so that you are stuck on your hub without any supplies anymore. So you have to plan carefully where to put radius here on the map, and it's an important point.
Right, very nice. One way to go over to our next topic, the strengths and weaknesses of the teams playing. We got here two specialists from both FGB and League UX. First, want to give the word to Ole Kander from League UX. Can you quickly introduce your team and maybe tell us a little bit about how the team is created, which tournaments you're participating, and yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, LX came about a year ago. We used to be playing pubs as NG508. We had the server as well, which everyone kind of knows. One of the things that we had a problem with was just kind of public attitudes towards gaming. So we decided to found LX and take the best players from the two teams to have a sort of more competitive mindset. As time went on, we did really well. Got to some finals, had some successful runs. Towards Christmas last year, things kind of crumbled as I moved to Russia. General had work commitments, and Mektic left for Mumbles. So we managed to rebuild. More recently, we've got some guys from TLR who are a massive help. That's headed up by James. Our community clans are Imperium, and in James's behalf, TLR. And we're kind of recruiting the best players from there in order to make up the team.
Have you guys ever won a tournament?
Yeah, we won the TTF, which is the Tournoi Team of Française. That was our first win. Otherwise, we're just selling for seconds right now. We had a tough run in the last SEC and the one before that. Last season, Mumbles took it down. We we had a really good game in one of the rounds. We managed to beat them on.
Yes.
Yeah, Harivka, which for us was just one of the best moments playing a squad. I think they were unbeaten in V12 or what it was at the time. But we lost the final to them, so they took it down. It was really good fun. I really enjoyed it. We played the OSS. We played SCL. Didn't do as well as we thought we would in that one. But yeah.
Right. Quickly, what do you think that is really a strength of League UX when it comes down to competitive gameplay? And I'm not talking about like a friendship or this the team chemistry, but really like some skill within League UX that is really making brought you to this final.
One of the things that we do, and I don't know how much other teams do it, is that we have dedicated roles. Everyone plays their role without exception. They almost never change. We're focused on being a 36v36 team. We do a lot of training in that regard. So our results in 36 matches tend to be very good. And we have about 50 full-time members. So for every match, kind of 75% have to sign up. But because we have dedicated roles, everyone sort of knows what they're doing. There's no complaining about what role you get at the start of the match. When you join an election, you're given a role and you kind of perfect it. So that would be one of the strengths we've got.
All right, switching over to Tequila Shancho from FGB, the Franco-German Brigade. Can you give us a quick introduction about the Franco-German Brigade and its history? I mean, it's very special to see the French and the Germans cooperating again. So how does this collaboration come to a start?
Yeah, so we in Friendly Warface search for a long time for some other teams we can play with to play competitive on tournaments and stuff like that. So we we asked a lot of teams and tried to play with other teams. So some were good, some were not. Sometimes the chemistry was not that good, but with P2 here and Indies, I think we found pretty cool guys. They're funny. They have kind of the same goals like Friendly Warface, and so yeah, that fits.
Very nice, very nice. Same question to you. What do you think that makes FGB really stronger tonight? What is gonna give FGB the win? Which skill does FGB have that all other teams are missing?
Yeah, we have also some dedicated roles. So we have specialists for vehicles. We have specialists for rushing, or let's say giving some pressure onto flags. We have some dedicated roles when it comes to defending flags, and I think we are pretty good prepared in terms of having a plan. And yeah, so this is also a part what you asked before for the open top MRAPs and the logis with a gun on it. So I mean, if you're not careful, you will get sniped out here from the gun, and yeah, so you have to be careful where to put your vehicles.
All right. Just a question from me. Of course, yeah. You're a team that is consisting out of French and German clans. Both German and French clans are known within the squad community that they very much like to play in their own language. Has this ever been something that has decreased your ability to collaborate as a team?
No, it's not a problem. So we're talking here official languages, English. To be honest, the French guys are more able to speak German than we can speak French. But there's not a problem. So everyone speaks English, and yeah, we have a plan. And when it comes to the game, yeah, everyone is very concentrated and yeah, very focused.
I had a quick question, guys. What for Sancho and Oaklander? What do you guys use to do your planning? I mean, you guys are obviously in it to win it, and you guys are looking to, get all the strats and everything. What tools or techniques do you guys have to organize that kind of planning structure?
Okay, yeah, I'll go first. I mean, obviously there's the squad maps, which when it works is awesome. A lot of the times you're just in the training server running routes for hours and hours. Some of it can be a full-time job at times. It's a little boring, but if you were to get the timings right, then you're going to use your own practice server for that. Another thing is kind of having player lists at hand, so you know everyone what their roles are. Lots of spreadsheets, lots of paint use, color coding and shit like that. Area control, and then admin cam in the training server. Yeah, that's the biggest fan.
Right, very good. Tequila Sancho, any of these things you don't use, or are there any things FGB uses that is not mentioned yet?
Yeah, a lot of beer. So no, that's exactly, we do it the same way. So using training server, using paint, and trying different routes, using the stopwatch to drive along the roads, and yeah, it's the same way.
All right, very nice. Then at this point, we're gonna say goodbye to Olakander and Tequila Sancho. They are gonna prepare for the match, which is starting in 10 minutes from now. I would like to thank you very much, guys, for being here and giving us an insight about your teams. I wish you the best of luck, and please make this final a fair fight and one to enjoy for the viewers.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, guys.
Bye.
Good luck, FGB. Good luck. Well done. See you. Yeah, all the best.
All right. In the meantime, we still got like 25 minutes before this final stream goes live. I would like to discuss one more topic with you guys, and that is about the future of Squad. We're still in Alpha 14. The game has still a long way to go, and there are confirmed things. There are things that is being speculated on coming. Johnny, what do you think? Like, which things do you definitely want to see in Squad that isn't in there yet?
Commander mode is probably my number one thing I want to see. Obviously, we kind of, for for our competitive stuff, we kind of, people take on that role and responsibility. But I think it would really help the game in general to have a leadership, or even if it's a wrong plan, just any plan's better. Oh, I'm getting a eye roll from PCAT, but I'm sure he'd say no persistent ammo. But no, that's what I'm excited for. Commander mode and what those things would do. Like they were talking about, like drones. I think thermal vision would be really cool. Stuff like that.
All right, very nice. Running Duck. Of course, you have also a lot of experience in the game. I'm not sure since which version have you been playing Squad?
Since Steam release, I think. I don't know what. I don't.
Well, that's about FIFA, if I'm
Before,
not
I think
if
so
I'm not
too.
mistaken. That's definitely for a long time. Which things in the game have you been missing so far, and which you were hoping for that they would have been in V10, V11, V12, V13, but they're still not here? What is that major thing that you are missing?
I mean, for me, it's getting really to the point where it's really super enjoyable. I mean, now with the addition of heavier vehicles, tanks and stuff, who watches my stream knows I'm an enthusiastic vehicle player. So that is already, and now especially with V14 and the implementation of a little bit more complex vehicle damage system, it starts to feel good. Obviously, what I'm really anticipated for is helicopters, aircrafts in some way.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge change, and probably in the competitive style too, if there's actually somebody in the air.
Helicopters have, of course, already been confirmed that they are coming. Aircrafts is the big question. Maybe they become a commander asset. Maybe they will ever get airplanes into Squad. Do you think that airplanes are actually going to be like a first-person controllable airplane, or do you think that they will become a commander asset?
I think they were talking about commander assets for that one.
Yeah. For airplanes, definitely. I think too. The plan is it's a while, however, I think anybody officially said something about the plan is to be commander assets for airplanes. Actually, I mean, there used to be, I think it was with V10, which was this little event where they had the A10 Warthog as a commander call-in.
That was the coolest thing of all time.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome already back then. So I'm pretty sure we will see a comeback for that thing.
What about the development in player counts? They always said we want to go to 100 players, and every version again there is a server of Nordic which tries 100 players, and every version again it doesn't work out apparently because we're still not here with 100 players. Do you ever think that the full release of Squad will have 100 players, or do you think that they will stick to 80? Johnny.
So for me, I kind of work in the IT field a little bit, and it seems like a fundamental design decision that was made at the very, very beginning of Squad, where if there are games like PlanetSide 2 where not every player is present, like they render in and out. So like with Squad, however, as you can tell with the admin cam when you're flying around, everybody is always active all the time. So like, and that is very demanding. So I don't know how they're going to do it, honestly. Unless there's something else that I think they've been doing something where, like, if you're a certain distance away, you still exist, but you work at a different tick speed, is what it kind of looks like. But I hope they can find out. But I mean, remember, they're also operating within, the confines of it's Unreal, right? Is it Unreal that they're using?
Yes, it's Unreal.
Yeah.
It's Unreal.
Yeah, so I mean, they're kind of shackled, and so if they can figure it out in Unreal, that's another revenue source. They're actually going to be, because if they could sell that to other people, and it'd be pretty cool. So I don't know if they're going to do it.
I personally, I think they're going to be able to manage it. There's a lot of stuff they actually did, like if you think back to V7, how the vehicles came in. And the fun thing, for example, little side story out of the box for vehicles, that Offfield Industries, they pretty much developed the code for vehicles on scratch. There was like nothing in the blueprints in the Unreal editor, which was like close to the code which were used for vehicles back then. And for the 100 player thing, if you refer to the 100 player tests they do on the versions, actually just on a client performance side, 100 players is totally possible. That's as Johnny said, it's more about network replication basically. That's the biggest issue. But I'm pretty confident they're going to sort that out.
All right.
One thing that I've seen.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
one thing I've seen. I mean, I host the the Smoking Rifle server, and I host a couple of other community servers, and like we've noticed, like V14 has been probably the most stable as far as we can see performance-wise. I mean, yeah, there's still some issues. I mean, there's still the disconnects and stuff like that, but they the tick rate's certainly a lot more stable now. There's some maps that it still doesn't like, but yeah, I mean, performance-wise, it's a hell of a lot better than what it has been in previous in previous releases. So maybe this is getting closer to the 100 players, but I think we're probably still a number of versions away from that personally.
All right, then I'm quickly gonna say goodbye to Emotive Meerkat and Level Me Up, our streamers. They have to say goodbye now too because well they have to stream the match. We'll see that going live in around 20 minutes from now. We'll still continue the stream with Johnny and Running Duck for the upcoming 10 minutes. We'll discuss some more about the future of Squad. But for now, please I want to thank you for Emotive Meerkat and Level Me Up for being here tonight.
Thanks,
Thank you for
guys.
having us.
Woo!
Yeah, catch you later. Johnny, I love your voice, by the way, mate.
Love
Yeah,
you
me
guys.
too.
Good luck,
All right,
team.
catch you later.
All right, goodbye, guys. Well, that leaves us with the three of us.
Now,
it
now
was
the real
easy,
party can start. Here we go.
Oh my god, guys, get the beer out, please. Where's our server? I need our server to give us some beer. Well, let's continue a little bit about the future of Squad. We were already talking about the 100 players. That goes accompanied by maps getting bigger and bigger. We saw the expansions of Yorivka, we saw the expansions of Gorodok, and of course our newest map, which is so big. I mean, I believe on its biggest size, it is about 8 by 8 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's a real big map. What do you think the future in map development will be? Do you think the maps are even getting bigger? Do you think all new maps are around this size? Or do you think that there will also be some smaller maps which yet have to be released? Running Duck, what's your thoughts about this?
It's I gotta be careful about what I'm saying.
Oh, leaks! We need leaks! Yeah, we wanted to have Gatsby here, but unfortunately he had to cancel. Otherwise, Gatsby could have done the leaks. But yeah, now we have you here for the leaks.
Well, I think obviously there gotta be big maps for
Okay,
for all-
everything
all
that he
the-
thinks is true, right?
Yeah,
Because he knows.
There gotta be, if you think about helicopters, you need maps like Eurivka or Gorodok, Cohead. Yeah, helicopters might work there too. But I think there also will be always some sort of smaller scale maps. Like it doesn't have to be a zoomery, but if you think about Loga Valley, this or Kokan is not the biggest map either, but because they're fun too, and they provide like a different gameplay, a completely different gameplay than the really big maps do. And actually, I know on public servers, there's actually quite a bunch of people, and you can see this on a public server. If there's not a lot of experienced people who kind of scared off the big maps, because if your vehicles or your transport's not working, then a Eurivka can be a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, walking simulator.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's going to be a good mix of both. And what you cannot forget is there will be mod support. The full mod support. I think right now it's a little bit on ice due to the development of it. But there will be, I think, really a lot of maps just coming out from modders, which I cannot wait for too.
I mean, Scorpo came from a mod, didn't it?
Yes, Scorpo originally was a mod actually,
Yeah.
and the guy who did it, Zeno, now is actually a mapper for Field Industries.
What's
Yeah, he's
also
super
interesting
talented.
on Scorpo is it brings us to a new battlefield. We've had the battlefields on the Middle East, and I think it's the old Balkan area where maps like Gorodok and things like that are. I'm not completely sure where that is going, but with Scorpo, we got now a map in Norway. Do you think we will see also other areas of the world as battlefields in Squad?
Oh, I would love that. I would love that if we, especially because we've got a huge oceanic community. I mean, we've got a huge North American community. I think it'd be really cool to see all sorts of different maps, for especially that represent the player base. Because I think it's always fun to like run around. Like, if there was an Omaha map, I would be all over that.
What about jungle maps, like in the South America, like for instance Brazil, Argentina, like the big rainforest? Would that be an interesting idea?
Yeah, definitely an option too.
For sure.
For like crazy CQC fights. Yeah. I mean, the question is like for the base game and the development of Squad, it's slowly waddling to V1 basically. because it is, and there's already confirmed some additions, I think, for after V1. But for in terms of maps, I really count on the modding community to just pump out the maps. And I like, if you follow the squad modding Discord server, which is like one of the biggest Discord server there is, I think, in its entirety. There's like already people working on a bunch of crazy shit basically, and I think there's stuff like jungle maps is there too, or Wake Island, or or all that kind of stuff.
Wake Island, Battlefield
Yeah,
1942, right?
I think somebody's working on that.
Great. Yeah, never heard of it, but would
wish-
be great
can-
to see Wake
Can
Island
these guys
back.
can they monetize? I think it'd be awesome if they could like $2 or whatever, but I know nobody wants to be like, Johnny, what are you doing? No microtransactions, but these guys, they spend like hundreds of hours working on these maps, man. I mean, it's just a lot of time.
I mean, it's the same faction-wise, for example. For me, I mean, maps, maps it's one thing, a new map. But what I really want to see is new
Factions. Oh my gosh, yeah. If there's a
That's-
true German army faction and a
Yeah,
true
totally.
I
Australian,
would love to see like one of the red Asian forces, like maybe China or something.
Yeah, Chinese
I would love to see
be
Oh, that'd be
Chinese.
cool.
obviously a really cool addition, which you could basically right now in the setup, how from the other faction you could play Chinese against everybody else. You could have Chinese versus insurgents versus militia.
Are you suggesting that the Chinese are mad at everyone?
I mean, there used US. What is going on with my mic? There was a US versus Brits layer once, So now
just
everything's
it's just Smash Brothers, guys. It's just Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Everybody versus everybody. Oh, what about a three-way map? Talk about we have the three-way conversation. What would
Oh,
you
like
get three
PlanetSide.
factions?
You mean like PlanetSide has that, right?
Yeah, like PlanetSide. Yeah. That'd be
would be
nuts. That would
I
be
think
nuts.
with like with that new game mode, I'm not sure what was it, Conquest or something.
Yeah,
Or-
with Conquest, with territory control. Yeah, that would
yeah, with
actually
territory
be
control. It
Oh,
would be
yeah.
possible, but
What do you guys think of territory
I think
control?
with,
How much
like,
time do we have? left?
yes, it's quite an impossible job to do so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like territory control a lot, to be honest. If both teams know what they're doing and you have really like a concept, like a permanent front line going on, it
Yeah.
has a lot of tactics going on, and we actually tried, like, we pulled off some, where enemy team is pushing you on one flank and you do cutoffs and stuff. It's kind of funny. It works out if both teams know what they're doing, but it can end in an absolute steamroll pretty quickly.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right, and what about naval combat? I mean, Squad came from Project Reality. Project Reality had naval combat. There were carriers, there were boats. It might have been a little bit easier because they came, of course, from Battlefield 2, and well, they had all the stuff they needed for it. Do you ever think that naval combat will come to Squad? Because there are some maps that definitely already have a nice opportunity for naval combat. Scorpio, our latest edition, definitely has a great opportunity with a US carrier for the coast of Norway. Do you think that naval combat will ever come to Squad, Johnny?
I don't think large scale naval combat. I think as cool as everybody likes World of Warships and stuff, I think we might see like some fast attack boats or just a little, what are they, like, they're not dinghies, but the little like what SEAL teams use to like infiltrate. So maybe you can hold like 8 guys and it's got a gun on it and it's just a rubber boat with a really fast motor.
Some boat action or something.
Yeah.
For Scorpio, for example, actually, on the first, modded tests of Scorpio,
Yeah,
the
wasn't there
BTRs were-
amphibious?
the BTRs were amphibious, actually.
That was wicked.
That was pretty cool, and it worked quite well too. I mean, it was a little bit clunky here and there, but it was thrown together.
Right.
Basically. But
Yeah,
I
that's
think-
another nice aspect. Do you think that amphibious vehicles will ever come to Squad? Because it rages me every time I drive a BTR, which is an amphibious vehicle in real life, and I just drive into the water, and it is 1
And
second.
explode. It's
and
just
it
like real
explodes.
life.
Like,
It's just
it's
regular.
not how a BTR works. Come on,
You get
Owen,
one
come
drop
here.
of water. Kaboom!
I
I
think
mean,
it's
Russian
definitely,
engineering.
from a development perspective, I think it's definitely something that we might see. Probably not before V1, but might be added afterwards. But you always gotta, keep in mind you gotta have a counter for that. I mean, currently right now, I just think BTR is amphibious, and then suddenly you're playing on Scorpio, and
Right.
there's 330 mils somewhere out in the ocean.
The sharks. The sharks in the water.
I got here
exactly.
an interesting question from the chat. They said, what about a game mode where one person, each team has a VIP, and they need to protect the VIP on the map, and the rest of the team has to defend the VIP? I'm pretty sure there's already some games that have a game mode like that. Do you think something like that can ever work in squad?
Yeah, definitely could work. I mean, I know there's communities, if you think about
Yes, Squad Ops does that.
Yeah, they are basically doing that kind of stuff.
I think they added the unarmed guy for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Might. I'm not sure if they added it for him, but actually that makes sense. I thought too, like when I saw the unarmed kid first, I thought like, yeah, Karmakut is going to be super fucking happy right now because
who's gonna be unarmed? Who's the unarmed guy?
Yeah, exactly. Now, in terms of game modes, I think there's a lot coming down to the game, to the modding community too.
Yeah.
Because there will too be in the future, as far as I know, the option to make, to kind of to certify mods by Offensive Industry, so you can play them on official servers. So if you have a good mod, that can be run on an official server too, which is quite nice. So yeah, we might. I think that the possibilities generally are endless in terms of game modes, and there's for sure a lot of stuff which can work and be fun.
Do you ever think then that other game modes can ever? I mean, as far as I know, AAS, or at least a version of AAS, like randomized AAS, competitive AAS, has always been run by every tournament in squad, as far as I know at least. Correct me if I'm wrong. But do you think that there is ever going to be a tournament, or at least a big tournament, that is going to run a different game mode than a version of AAS?
Yes. It's going to be Bob the Builder, and it's going to be 2 super fobs, and you just super fob the whole game, and that's going to be it. It's going to take the competitive scene by storm, and man, you're going to see just nothing like you've ever seen before.
Okay, guys, I want to make an announcement. SEC Season 4 will be Bob the Builder game
Bob
mode.
the Builder game mode.
Just like to get as much as I love, obviously. I think the only thing, like AAS in terms of big scale, like if we talk 24 with 24 or 6 with in that kind of level, I think AAS will just be the thing because you can plan it. It plays good. It's fairly balanced, I'd say. Depends on the map a little. But what I can imagine is that there might be like smaller, some sort of smaller layouts if you play, because I think in Battlefield back in the day there was like 8 versus 8 or stuff. If you have some sort of, I mean, it would
Is that squad though? Is that squad though? Really?
Yeah, that's the question. Yeah, I know. But that's the only thing I can think of,
right.
Because in terms of big scale, you gotta play AAS. That's how it is for me.
Oh, Napster's got a good question here. What about a hyper-realistic game mode where enemies hear your local voice? You could take enemy vehicles.
And that probably involves then just one life too, I guess. Just not having the ability to respawn, like the one live events. I know Squad Ops organizes some of them. RIP does organize them sometimes. Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting. I think it would never give space for a real competitive game because, well, no respawn makes for really quick competitive games. But
or really long ones.
Long ones. Local voice too. People, I think, game the system too much. They're like, all right, forget it. I'll just use TeamSpeak.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that is the thought behind the local voice not being able to hear it in the enemy team, because people would start using third-party communication.
Didn't they just add callouts in V14?
Yeah.
So you can now hear your enemy can hear you, and everybody uses them to troll each other.
To be honest, indeed, I hate the callout system.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Owe, but honestly, the only thing I've seen it being useful is
trolling.
At the start of the game, you're in a lodgy truck, and there's 40 chickens around you screaming for them. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I think it's an experiment currently, the state of the call-out system.
Okay, well, I see here, sorry for interrupting you, I see your Nefsa saying that you can also, I didn't know, call out for a medic while you're still alive, so you can bait enemies into you?
Yeah, you can.
Oh my god, I love that. Okay, I gotta say, if I ever kill somebody by doing that, I'll record it and send it to everybody.
Clip of the top front
You guys
page.
are the streamers, please.
Front page Twitch.
24 hours on trying to bait someone into your medic.
Oh, I did a lot
sorry
of.
for interrupting you, running back.
no
Continue.
worries.
Sorry.
I did a lot of unarmed baits already. Actually, you know,
Oh, as an
just like
unarmed
being,
person.
yeah, just being unarmed. Like just yesterday, I think there was some guy randomly on Al Basra, and he was stabbing a techie, like a random guy
With a
somewhere
knife?
on the map with a knife. Yeah, just stabbing on the techie. And I was just walking up by him, next to him. I was unarmed, and I put my hands up, and he was looking at me with his knife in his hand. And he looked at me, I think, for around about 2.5 minutes until my squad came and just, shot him to pieces.
I can allow
The
that.
new meta. It's the unarmed scout. Yeah, don't hurt me. I'm just here. Let me tell you, he's right here. He's right by the techie.
All right. We're coming very close to the end now. This stream will probably start in around 5 minutes. Let's round it up a little bit. Just a quick question. If you gotta bet your money, let's say I give you 10,000, then you can bet it on one of the teams. I'm not sure if you follow the tournament by any bit and know something about the teams, but where are you gonna put your money? You first, Johnny.
To St. Jude. I would give it to St. Jude. So yeah, I'm both teams. They're rocking and rolling, and I think the real winner here is going to be the kids today.
Right.
I gotta admit, I did not follow the tournament. But from what the team said before, I think the German Franco. Well, first of all, they got for going from it. They're German.
Wait a second. There's the German connection. I think you got an inside scoop there, Deck.
I think, but like as I heard, the Franco part of them is from Indies, and Indies actually used to be a really high class team. On the other hand,
yeah, there's NG on the other side.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Legion X, and they played against Mumlarines, and they won a round against Mumlarines, and they have a lot of experience from what I've told. So I think it's a tough call. I think so. I think I gotta go with the German Francos though in that case.
we'll see. And well, if you gotta say how many tickets as a militia would make you safe on this map, it is pretty clear that militia is probably. I mean, if you lose on the American side, you're probably done for. That's one thing that you can make sure on this map. I mean, if we're at halftime and the militias are down with 100 tickets, I mean, the match yesterday ended with, I believe, a difference of 30 tickets on one side and 100 tickets on the other side. I mean, if we gotta sit in the middle of that.
All right, then I'm gonna say Legion X. They're gonna win by Legion X. Gonna be winning by 236 tickets.
You
That's
just
a lot.
watched the chat.
No, I didn't. Why? What happened? What'd they say?
I think somebody said.
Did they
that
say
Legion-
236 tickets?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is that why that number's stuck in my? I gotta see this now. I'm scrolling. up.
I'm scrolling too. Let's see. Oh, 237 they said.
Oh, see, I say 236. So
That means that they have to win both rounds.
yes, and they will.
Okay. We're gonna see it.
They're gonna win by 100
I mean,
tickets. 100 tickets
if
each.
they manage to
115.
seriously push towards Village, they will do.
I'm calling it right now, guys. Are you doubting the Omaha? Is that what you're doubting right now?
Yes, with
All
that.
right. All right. What do you think? What do you think, Duck? How you think you're Germans? You think you're gonna win by how much?
Not a lot. I
Not-
think not a lot. No. Not a
Okay.
lot. I think it's going to be a close.
Okay.
For militia, if you we gotta see who starts on militia. Or do we know that?
I'm not sure who's starting as militia, to be honest.
So I think if you're able as militia in the to knock US down under 75 tickets, that I'd say 75. Before V14, I'd said 120.
Okay.
But ticket pretty low. I think then you have a good chance actually.
All right.
If you play militia around in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be a 2-round victory. The way
Yes,
the SEC
yes.
always was is you could have earned 1 point for winning a round and 2 points for winning the overall game. So even winning 1 round was always at least winning something in the SEC. You already got 1 point, but of course, in the final there's only 1 prize, and winning 1 round is just not enough. It doesn't give you 1 point; it gives you a 2nd place, which is a nice prestation. But
Who's
I mean,
the chat actually rooting for? People in the chat.
I see what
wanna see
LX
that.
will win.
Yeah, I see. I hope You will win.
FBG
Yeah,
will
chat.
win.
Chat, let me know. What are you guys thinking? We need to know, chat.
I'm lowering my count now that I'm doing some calculations in my head.
Dogs.
Yeah,
Dog
Doc's
Hammer will
office.
win. Dog Hammer will. No matter who's playing.
What if that was actually? He just comes in. You guys, get on the point.
All right.
There's only trolls.
I think
75
it's,
tickets. 75.
time to round it up. We're gonna start to rate our beautiful stream for the final, which will be hosted by Emotive Meerkat together with Level Me Up. Johnny Omaha, Ronnie Duck, thank you very, very much for being here tonight. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, thanks for
Oh,
the invitation,
absolutely.
actually.
Can't wait to come back.
All right, that's
Thanks,
very nice. Then I'm gonna start. Okay, now I got to find out how do I rate people. I mean, this
Slash
is so
host.
hard.
Do the host part.
or slash raid. You
Yeah.
go slash raid
Okay,
and then
there we go.
Yeah, do host and it's ready to go.
First
Okay,
time streamer.
guys, come right to the final. Watch the final. Make us
Woo!
reach this 200 plus views count. It will be so amazing to reach this in the final. And I'll see you all later today. And thank you very, very, very much for being here tonight. And I hope you enjoy a beautiful evening with a beautiful final.
Good
Goodbye,
luck,
guys.
James. Woo!
Bye bye everybody. Yeah.
And we're stopped. Thank you, guys.
No
I think this went pretty well.
Yeah, it was alright. I actually feared it would be a little bit more cringy, but it was not as cringy at all. I think so.
It was quite natural indeed. I'm just gonna go with the rate. I need the rate. Go.
Hit the button. Make sure you're rating.
Yeah, make sure we don't hear that. Now we're offline, no? Yeah. I just gotta hit in the chat the rate now button.
I'm not sure if I'm rating now. I'm just gonna go to his stream.
That's why I use host.
Yes,
Oh
yeah,
fuck! I had to click a button.
Yeah.
now you did,
There
good.
we
I was
go.
the same way.
Oh, good.
I was like, what am I doing wrong? But I had to hit post now after 10 seconds.
All right.
You guys in for watching a bit of the final?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna go make some
I gotta
lunch
make
though.
dinner
I gotta
and,
eat.
and watch into.
So I'm gonna watch and eat at the same time.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks for the invite there. Trumpet.
Yes.
Really
appreciate it.
Yeah, much appreciated from you too, guys. You
Yeah.
were amazing about the information you guys knew and the enthusiasm. Really great.
Woo!
We hope to have more events like this next season. I mean, like, this was a first try and we had to figure out everything and we spent hours and hours planning everything because we really didn't want anything to go completely sideways on this first roundtable. But this went very successful and we also got, like, quite a nice community watching. Like, I think my site host and Merkur, I'm not sure if he's
Oh,
here.
it's
he's
starting.
here.
It's starting. Oh, it's starting.
I just jumped in.
Yeah,
Also, like,
but
thank
you
everyone.
told me something like on average. I mean, I can see on Twitch which was the average and the peak, right? So
Yeah,
it was
around
80, 85.
80, 80
like-
something, and we had like around 10 to 12 at the
Yeah, 80.
frame.
85-ish, I
So
think.
around
Stats.
100.
I'm so bad with Twitch. I never stream. There we go.
And Mika is also now right around 100.
One stream.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta
bye-bye.
stop too, guys. See you then.